Afternoon, everybody. I just noticed David's tip come up just as I came on. Lee is the dad I wish I had. How old are you, David? I just got this vision of you being roughly the same age as me. So thank you very much for the $10, David. Very much appreciated. I'll be your dad. I think you might be in a different country, though, so that might be a problem. How are we all doing? Afternoon, everybody. Afternoon, Mumo, Monkey, Soul, Crom, Virginia, Mark, Ace, Mark. Sound is echoing. King. Is it? You're 31? I could have had you then. Mr. Lunary, afternoon. I don't think my sound is echoing, is it? It shouldn't be. Nope, nothing's changed. Good weather finally coming, hopefully. Right. Let's get on. Sun. Right. Yeah, so today basically we're going to go through the usual stuff, look at the news, look at the zones for the zone trader EA, look at the RSIs, ADRs, the usual things. There's a lot going on news-wise at the moment, obviously, with Trump. So the markets are still very much all over the place. The overnight news is there's not a massive amount happened overnight, but we've had a lot of Trump announcements yesterday to do with trade tariffs again with Canada specifically and Mexico. Him basically saying they're all going to push ahead, kind of going back and lifting sanctions on Russia at some point. Yeah, more tariff talk basically, and imminent Canadian ones. And he looks like he's sorted out Ukraine. Whether that happens or not, we'll have to wait and see. Thought he'd sorted out Gaza. Got to go back a long way to find it. There's just tariff talk all the time, isn't there? Afternoon, Shroud. So basically, we've had a little bit of a rally in the US. If we have a quick look at the US pairs, US dollar CAD. Nice strong push up. I just closed out US dollar CAD this morning on the Zone Trader account. As you can see, oh blimey, Swiss franc's just rallying as well. The yen probably is as well, yeah. So some yen and Swiss franc strength coming through right now. Another really strong move on the Swiss franc. So a little bit of strength come through on the US. Weakness in the Canadian, as you would expect, obviously with the Canadian tariffs potentially coming on. So this massive strength that we're seeing at the moment in the Swiss franc is basically a safe haven run, and it's a long-term safe haven run, which is what it looks like anyway. So I just got to shut something down here. There we go. Nope. So yeah, we've got this massive safe haven run underway at the moment on the Swiss franc, as you can see. So big strong move there. Swissies really powering up. So safe haven currencies, Swiss franc, yen, gold. There you go, big strong move on gold. So whenever there's times of worry, crisis, uncertainty, the market moves all of its money into the safe havens. So Swiss franc is the main safe haven because it's not part of NATO. It's not part of the normal European alliance, etc. So it's isolated in times of conflict and economics and things like that. Yen is low interest rate, safe, stable currency, so you put your money in the yen. And gold obviously always appreciates in value. It's a rare commodity, therefore that appreciates in times of trouble as well. So those are the ones which are going to benefit from all of this movement at the moment, because we've got this weird thing going on with Trump. Nobody really knows what the hell is going on. We're going to get more continuation of that. So if you are trading the Swiss or the yen at the moment, just be very careful. These safe haven runs could continue for days or weeks. So this week obviously is the start of a biggie, and we're getting more ADRs on it today. So there's your ADRs so far today. We will be getting ADRs in a minute. Aussie dollar, US dollar, that one's just hit. Is that Aussie dollar weakness? Yeah, Australian dollar weakness. Again, commodity pairs getting hammered on this. So ADR reversal opportunity there. I'm already short on that, which is nice. I think I'm going to need to take profit on that in a minute. Yeah, leave it for the minute. So that's a nice ADR reversal opportunity. Yeah, good support level as well. We'll have a look at the zones in a minute. I just see exactly where I've got that set up. So good looking support zone coming up. This is your 3-week high, which we're just bouncing off potentially at the moment at that propulsion gap. So drop down 5-minute time frame, look for reversal signals. So look for a reversal alert on it, which is going to go in there, or just an MA cross. Any kind of bullish price action. Pound odd is the other one. So again, reverse alert is, wow, look at that. Australian dollar getting hammered today. So yeah, big strong push up there. There's your reversal alert, just about to go in at 125 ADR. That's going to be a lovely reversal. That's going to come down nice and hard when it does. So pound odd looks like a good opportunity. Pound's been strong today though. All the pound pairs doing very well today. So come on, chart update. So be a little bit careful with the pound ones, but not quite sure why the pound is quite so strong. But anyway, so there's your ADRs. Weeklies, Aussie dollar Swiss has hit the weekly range. Let's look at the hourly chart. So we're on Wednesday. So that is 100% of the average daily range. So good opportunity for a pullback into propulsion on that move as well. CAD Swiss, that's also extended on the hourly. Got buys on it already. CAD Swiss, that one's also extended. You've got a double bottom going in at the moment. So you've had your reversal alert and your retest. It's just coming down to retest double bottom. So if that holds that bottom today, you've got a nice push up into propulsion there. So that's a good looking one, CAD Swiss. Obviously the Swiss franc is rallying at the moment on this safe haven run. Euro New Zealand, really extended. Look at that holding the 9 at the moment. Really nice extension on that one. Already got 3 sells on that, so looking for a push back down into that propulsion gap at some point. And New Zealand dollar Swiss, again another safe haven run, so potentially pushing back up into previous day's low. That's Monday's low, really the open at the start there, but it actually closed at the same place. So this low here basically is a good target to the upside. That propulsion, that's your T1, T2, T3 to the upside. So good looking opportunities on those. Most of these are extended on the hourlies and 4 hourlies, or they were yesterday, so you probably be in them already if you're using RSI extensions anyway, and ADRs, because we had ADR hits on these yesterday as well. 4 hours there's loads, and hourlies there's loads. We'll have a look at those in a second. Just quickly going to cover the news. Australian CPI today. The reason the Aussie's so weak today is because of this. We had the CPI come out at 2.5 on a forecast of 2.6. It is only a 0.1 miss. However, it is still a miss. So potentially there's a little bit of a continued weakness that we could be seeing on the Australian dollar, but it's not a big miss. And it's indicative of what is going on at the moment, which is a lot of fluctuation. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's particularly important news. This afternoon we've got no more news. It's G20s today, start the G20 summit. So there's going to be a lot of talk coming out of that about what's going on in Ukraine at the moment. So there could be some disruption based on that, but unlikely to affect the markets. But unless Trump says anything, obviously. 3:30 this afternoon, you've got crude as usual, and 3 o'clock is new home sales. So there's nothing really exciting this afternoon from a news perspective. And we're not really getting any until Thursday afternoon, tomorrow afternoon, with the GDP and unemployment for the US. So any movement we see this afternoon is just going to be normal sort of price action. There's not been anything else exciting really apart from what Trump's been saying. That was the China news. There we go. Mexico's president basically wanting to do a deal ASAP with Trump so that his currency doesn't collapse more. It's obviously already collapsing hideously. We'll have a look through those in a second. I'm just going to quickly come over to the indices. Oh, what a mess today. Big volatile open. So your 5-minute ORB has broken long on the NASDAQ. The We're inside bar on the Dow, and the S&P has broken long. So you've got long breaks on the NASDAQ and the S&P at the moment. And inside bar on the Dow. So accumulation on the Dow at the minute. So good potential break of the 10-minute candle there. But we'll see where these go. Lovely clean break this morning. So the pre-market, if you took the pre-market on the DAX this morning, it broke and didn't look back. Absolutely huge win today on the DAX. Whichever break you took, whether you took the pre-market, you took the 5, the 10, the 15, whatever break you took today, you've cleaned up. The FTSE was a mess. So the FTSE basically opened long, went short, then went long, didn't really get anywhere, and then came back down, and we're still basically inside that 30-minute range. So the FTSE was a total write-off today. Whether you're trading ORB or SIH or what you're doing with the indices, FTSE killed you. But DAX will have more than paid for it, as you can see. So I'm up on the day. Looks like we're going to break short on these. Real mess this morning. The indices all over the place. Look at that. So potentially, if this rejects this low again, we're going to pop. Really big open today. So this is your 15-minute range going in now. If this 15-minute range closes inside that 5-minute candle on both of these, you've got a very easy 15-minute opening range breakout today, and it'll probably go. There's no other news to do anything different, is there, today? Right, let me just catch up on the chat. Bonjour, Harold. Have we found the Holy Grail yet? Not quite. I found it about 5 or 6 years ago. I'm still doing it. Pound odd. 125 ADR now. So that's just about to highlight 125. Very close. David, I've been backtesting a set file on all pairs and it's looking good so far. 30-minute time frame, RSI 10, 75, 25. I don't think I've ever tested a 30-minute time frame. I have tested a 30-minute time frame, but I don't think I've ever traded anything on 30 minutes. Never been a time frame that has appealed to me. Additional entries are at 0.05 of ADR and 1.5 lot multiplier. Stick it in the Discord group, David, and we can test it. RSI 10 is a very good RSI. 75-25 levels are good. 0.05 ADR scale-ins, though. You're getting in 5%. So basically what you're saying is on a 30-minute time frame, when you get an entry, you take the next candle, because 5% is nothing, is it? There's no distance whatsoever. But yeah, if it works, it works. You're just accumulating a position. So as long as you're using drawdown control on it, it'll be all right. Set to close oldest trade after 5 trades, 0.25% risk over 1 ADR. First entry looking for 0.15 in profit. Multiple trades looking for 0.5. So you're looking for half an ADR movement. Yeah. I feel it keeps my average really close to price, and that's needed in a small push. Yes, can you stick the set file in the Discord group, if you can, in the position trader EA set file section? Just chuck it up there and we can test it. He may have found the Holy Grail. You never know. That would be good. Afternoon, Brandon. Afternoon, Peter. Yeah, 30-minute time frame's good. It's the interim between the hourly and the 5-minute. So it's kind of it's just one that I've never really investigated, because for me, logically, I would just go for the hourly. So you might want to test that on an hourly time frame, and you might find you get slightly similar results. But it doesn't matter really, does it? Time frames are a human construct. This is basically our representation of price over time. Somebody picked 5, 10, 15, 30, 1, 4 daily. Yeah. If someone had picked 17, 12, 19, 26, and 47, we'd be looking at a price over time on those periods. Basically, that's all it is. So it's an illusion created. Price is what the market moves from and to. It's not the market does not pay any attention to time at all. Banks and institutions have orders to commit to the market at price points. They don't care when they're done. They get them done when they're done. But we have to break it down into chunks so that we can see how much action has been in each direction. That's literally all we're doing, isn't it? So whether you trade a 15-minute, a 30, an hourly, or a 4-hourly time frame, it's completely personal choice. And it's usually down to how many hours a day you've got to sit in front of the chart. If you work an 8-hour day, you can't trade anything really lower than the 4-hour time frame, because you can only check the charts 6 times a day max, 5 or 6 times maybe. So you can't trade anything less than that. So you use that time frame. You use a time frame that looks good to you as to how often you can check the market. But obviously, the faster the time frame, the faster the entries, and the more signals you're going to get, basically. But then the more chop you're going to get as well. Afternoon, Church. FTNet, how are we doing? Bought your dashboard so I can manually trade multiple pairs. I've taken long the CAD Swiss. Out of interest, what spacing are you using for the next entry on your position trader EA? Half an ADR. No, I'm not. That's a lie. 3/4 of an ADR. Am I? I can't remember. Yeah, half an ADR. The Zone Trader account, I'm using half an ADR. RSI, I'm using half an ADR. Yeah, half an ADR. A little bit aggressive at the minute. Well, not an aggressive, just the market's a bit flat. So, afternoon, Sarah. Was that a new SIHEA for indices you were showing a minute ago? No, it's this is ORB version 2. So the members will know what this is about. Basically, we've been covering this in the members stream over the last few weeks. But it's a new variation on the opening range breakout strategy using stop losses, but limited entries. So I won't go into it in detail. If you want to know, it's in the member streams, but it's basically a variation on ORB, which is my variation on what the Swiss Financial Institute came up with as the main variation that they use for trading the opening range breakout. So it's a variation of the original Tony Krabel strategy from 30 years ago. So it's just another way to trade ORB, but it's more logical in the fact that it checks. If it doesn't like it, it then checks again. If it doesn't like it, it checks again. If it doesn't like it, it goes, screw that, I'll wait. So it's a little bit of a combination of logic from SIH and the original ORB strategy wrapped up into one. And as you can see, it's doing pretty damn nicely. 77% up in the last month. But it's using high risk. So I'm testing for prop, basically. Got a nice clean break on the Dow and also on the S&P, and the Nasdaq has just broken as well. But this variation of the strategy, as you can see, it uses a very, very tight stop loss. We are going for fast movement based on volume. Yeah, so it's a volume-based variation of the strategy. It's a little bit different. We'll come back to that in a minute. So ADRs I've covered. RSIs today, there's quite a few. So EuroCAD, we'll look at the hourlies. Most of these that are hourlies are also extended on the 4 hourlies. So we'll look at them all together. EuroCAD is first one extended on the hourly. So we've got a nice extended embedded condition there. I've already got shorts on this. This is finding a nice resistance up at the monthly high here. So we're up at a very nice resistance. This is this previous high from 2 months ago. We came back up, we retested it, we tried to retest it again, retested it again. We had a failed breakout, price discovery. This is Trump, ignore that. And then we broke back down from it. So this level is holding very nicely at the moment. The market can't find any price discovery above that level that they can hold. We have put a new higher low in, however, so it's kind of starting to contract, but we've got lovely propulsion targets to the downside and this little double wick here for a downside target. So that's a really good looking short. It's also extended on the 4. So again, reversal alerts on lower time frames. You've just had a reversal alert there off of the monthly, and the retest is going in now. So it's a beautiful looking short. If you want to trade it intraday, somewhere down there, 150 ADR would be easily achievable. So that's Euro CAD. That's a 4-hour RSI extension as well. You've also got Euro New Zealand. Lovely wick rejection on this. Yeah. So we pushed up, nice wick rejection, 3-bar reversal gone in there with nice wick rejection for the hour after. We've just tried to hit that double top again and it's rejecting again. We've got another 8 minutes left on this candle, but the buyers are not able to get through there at the minute. So potentially pushing back down into this propulsion gap here. That's a nice extended and embedded RSI. That's been extended and embedded now for pretty much 24 hours. 4-hour RSI extension as well. And we're coming up to resistance. So this looks like if we are going to continue market structure short, so there's your reversal alert there. That's your structure break to the downside on the 4-hour. There's your retest. There's your M pattern reversal. There's your low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, back down into this propulsion area down here. So that looks good for shorts as well. Euro is weak at the minute. Pound, so all these pound pairs, we've got pound odd, pound CAD and pound New Zealand all extended. Don't take both pound odd and pound New Zealand ideally because they're the same thing pretty much. But pound odd 125 extension. There's your 5-minute reversal alert, literally just gone in off of 125 ADR. So that's the reversal alert. So if you want to try and get into this on a retest, somewhere up there is your stop and get in on a short. If you're using stops, obviously, if you're not using stops, just scale in and wait. But yeah, nice extension there on the 4-hour. We're almost up to that 80. Oh, sorry, on the hourly, we're almost up to the 80 level. 4-hour RSI extension is above 80 already. So very, very, very extended. You've also got the weekly high coming up from 2 weeks ago up here. So that's only half an ADR away from where we are at the moment. They're going to want to pull back on that leg. So watch this high here. Yeah, so some either that or that if we're going to continue to rally to the upside. If we're not going to continue to the rally to the upside, obviously it's just going to come straight back down and retest those lows. Pound New Zealand's the other one, isn't it? So that's also extended on the 4. We have broken out that double weekly high. So we're pushing propulsion at the moment. So that is your 2-week high. That is last week's high. We retested the 2-week high yesterday and failed. We've just blown through that level into a propulsion. So this Batman here, basically that propulsion gap is where we are expecting to see the sellers coming in if they are still there. If they're not, we're going to retest that high, which is around about 1 ADR. Just over 1.25 ADR from where we are now. So that's a good looking short. If it's going to fail here, it's going to come back down and retest this area here. If it doesn't, we're going to find shorts up there. By the time you get there, you'll be massively extended. We'll be up here somewhere. Yeah, like that, which will do that. So yeah, good looking start of a short on the pound New Zealand. But if you're going to take one or the other, up to you which one you take. But pound odd and pound New Zealand will typically do the same thing at the same time. So they both look good, to be honest. So and US dollar CAD, as I say, I just got out the US dollar CAD today. So a bit of a messy chart this. So 3 entries, exit. This is where I wanted to exit here. I got out earlier. We'll look at the zone trader EA in a minute. But this is where I had the zone highs drawn. So it would have exited for me anyway on this candle, this hourly candle, sorry, 4-hourly candle that's going in now. Actually, I think on the hourly it's probably, yeah. So it would have exited on this candle anyway in 4 minutes time. But I decided to close it out anyway myself, just because I've been in this for over a month. Well, actually for the whole month, and I just wanted out of it, basically. I think there's a possibility. I don't see anything massively bullish about the US still. I do see massively bearish about the CAD with the new announcement that Trump made about the interest rates, the tariffs. But that could easily be short-lived, couldn't it? Yeah, we've seen this before. That's the last tariff announcement, and that was the, oh no, we're not going to do it. That was the last tariff announcement yesterday. He hasn't signed the paper. So, you know, Justin Trudeau can turn around and go, do you know what? We're going to keep 8,000 troops on the border. There won't be one more thing come across that you don't want, Mr. Trump. Okay, no problem. I won't put the tariffs on. This will be back down here. So there's absolutely no reason for that to be bullish. So I decided to get out of it. But yeah, it's a bit of a painful hold, that one, because we went sideways literally. Out of that whole 1 month, we had one down day, accumulation, one down day, accumulation, one up day. Yeah, so it's moved 3 days in a month. So just, you want out of that. It's just a pain in the backside. So it's banked anyway. There's other 4-hour extensions. The pound CAD is the biggest extension at the minute we've got. The 4-hour, sorry. On the 4-hour there. So huge extension there above the 80 level. If you scroll out, yeah. It's not often we don't come down like a rock from this sort of height. Yeah. And same here. If we pop down that far below the 20, yeah, you don't survive down there long. The market cannot keep that extension going. There's not enough buyers and sellers left in the market. It's exhaustion. So very, very, very good looking short, especially as we're coming up to test a monthly high. The amount of traction and money they need to break a monthly high like that, by the time they get through it, it's shot. So this is why you get the exhaustion. This is the whole, everything I teach in the bootcamp is elastic band theory based. This is the elastic band. Yeah, you stretch it so far, there is nobody left here with a sell order. If you haven't got any more sell orders, you can't buy anymore. If you can't buy anymore, you exit your buys. If you exit your buys, you become a seller. Bang, causes that contraction back down again. So that's basically what the banks are poised, ready to do. We've got this beautiful, great big propulsion gap from this week. Which, even if it is just a flag break, will be down here. So you got a good 175 to 200 ADR drop on that at some point soon. There we go. RSI's done. Nice clean break on S&P. They're all clean breaks today. So there's a 30-minute range gone in. Oh, it's coming hard off 30-minute. So for those guys, for the members, yeah, we've been looking at this in the members streams, and I've been saying this needs more work, this strategy, because look at where we are here now. Yeah, I'm up 1,300. Already got 475 banked. So open profit is sitting at 830, giving us 1,300. Yeah, this right now, we should be taking it. Yeah, so the EA has got to have some kind of logic in here to protect this money. So this is why I need to recode this into MT5 so I can multi-currency test it, because this is a really good example of, we've got days like this where we were up 1,200 in the morning and we've turned it into a break-even day, or in some cases a lost day. I mean, that day was just whipsaw all day long. This is worst case scenario. Every single instrument that day broke long, broke short, reset for 15, broke long, broke short, reset for 30, broke long, broke short. Literally every single instrument had a double or treble loss on one day. It's so unusual, but you have them. But there's plenty of days we've had like this where it turns, I think that day was $1,500 or that's a $1,900 profit. That was turned into a 1.7% loss because this is not being protected. Now, when we did all the back testing on this, the trailing stop loss did not improve profitability at all. Yeah, in fact, most cases it made the profitability less. We did a whole session on it in the members stream. But what it didn't do was improve the profit, but what it probably would do is protect these wins. So you'll get a lot more days which are positive as opposed to having given the whole thing back. But for me right now, as a human being, I know what I would be doing. I'd be pressing the button to close this now. Yeah, so we kind of need to get that additional logic put together that either uses some kind of trail at a price point, or I don't know. But that's what I'm going to be working on next. This is the evolution of it, basically. So we'll see where we go. But this could turn into a nice, like 30-40% day, couldn't it? We'll see. At the moment, it's looking pretty good. Got downside wicks in. Massive buying pressure today. So we'll see where we go. David, I am so interested in the ORB set file, but not a member just yet. Well, if you saved all your $10 you gave me, David, and put them into being a member, you'd only have to pay $30. Is it $30? It's not even that, is it? I can't remember. I can't even remember what the price is. It's not a lot. It's virtually nothing. It's way less than a coffee a day, put it that way. But you can always access all the members' content anytime you like. It's all there. Yeah, none of it goes anywhere. There you go. That's what we did yesterday. Revisiting the old set. No, that was a position trader one. I just saw ORB fly past. There you go. 30-minute ORB V2 live testing, blah, blah, blah. There's all the ORB V2 testing we've been doing recently. So, but you get access to everything going back to the beginning. So, you know, if you join, you won't have a problem finding things to watch. Thoughts on the pound yen? I'm in long on the pound yen at the moment. It's in profit at the minute. So this is the only yen pair that I'm trading at the moment. All yen pairs are very, very sideways at the minute. So the yen is strong at the moment. It's not really strong. It's everything else is weak at the moment. So it appears strong. We've got a lot of uncertainty, which obviously they pile into yen and Swiss with. The pound at the moment, it doesn't look like we're going to be dropping interest rates anytime soon. So of all the yen pairs, I decided to use the pound yen because I think the pound is probably going to be bullish over the next few weeks. Unless anything changes, which at the moment it seems to be changing on an almost daily basis. But all the other yen pairs, I think are going to struggle. All the other pairs, I think, are going to struggle to be bullish against the yen. So, yeah, long on that one at the minute. It is contracting down, though. So, I mean, there is a probability of a breakout to the downside down into this area, which is fine. I'll just keep long in it because I get paid to go long. I've just realised my filter's turned off. My swap filter. So yeah, Aussie yen again. They're all doing the same thing. So with these yens at the moment, I mean, you really only want to be trading one of them. Pick one, maybe two. But yeah, like the pound yen at the minute. I'm in long. As you can see, I'm being paid $12 swaps to hold it. So I don't care. I'm happy to hold this for 3-4 weeks. And scale into it because when it goes, I'm not only going to make profit, I'm going to be paid for making profit. It's like being paid to go to work and do nothing. Why not? It's a carry trade. US dollar yen is the one I would not want to be long at the moment, but you never know. Trump can turn this around. This is a beautiful double bottom off of the monthly. Look, so that's your 2-month low. That's December's low, basically. So yeah, they're buying December's low at the moment. We've got good propulsion targets to the upside, but unless Trump turns around and actually does something positive for the US, it's not going anywhere, is it? So is it difficult or maybe even impossible to code any type of exposure limitation within an EA? No. I've already got it in in the dashboard. This is obviously the currency exposure in the trade portfolio dash. That is logging exposure. So it knows exactly what lot sizing we've got on the CAD. It knows how many trades are running on the CAD. Yeah, so it's all doable. I'm reluctant to put any automatic exposure into my EAs because there's not a set way to monitor and measure exposure. So there's a number of ways to do it. You could say, if I've got, like the way I teach in the bootcamp, if you go long Aussie CAD and you go long Aussie New Zealand, for example, you take no more Aussie because you are long the Australian dollar for 2, so don't take any more. But what if this is sitting in $100 of profit? This is sitting in $300 of profit, and the Aussie, the pound odd, yeah, sets up with, like it is at the moment, an amazing H4 RSI short. The EA will not take this amazing 4-hour RSI extension at 85, which is almost given that it's going to drop, because you've got 2 exposures long who are in profit. Yeah, absolutely nothing wrong with taking that and exposing yourself to more Australian dollar, because you're not actually in drawdown on the Australian dollar. And if these were both break even, that's still the best setup in the world. You want to take it. So the logic involved in currency exposure is actually not simple. It's not measuring lots, measuring number of currency pairs or symbols we have, or measuring individual trades on individual currency pairs. So I could put in here, how many trades have we got short on the Australian dollar? You know, there's 100 different ways you can look at exposure. The best thing is to use your eyeballs and you be a human being. Yeah. Do you feel, and this is why I've built the dashboard to have this, are you feeling uncomfortable with your US dollar exposure long at the moment, or your Swiss exposure short? It's pretty heavy, isn't it? Do you want to take any more US? No. So what is a good thing to do? Just quickly flick the off switch on anything that's on the US dollar. Then it won't take any trades, will it? When this is not dark red, flick the switch back on. But I can come up with 100 different ways to measure exposure, but everybody's going to want something different. And I can't code everything. This is the trouble. So I've always said, you know, you're the trader. EAs are dumb objects. They will take trades for you. They will do what they're told. If you tell it to trail a stop loss really tight, it's going to stop you out. If you tell it to get in and overexpose you with 0.5% risk over half an ADR on every single US dollar pair just before the non-farm payroll, it will do it. Yeah, but you should be watching your portfolio. You should be managing your trades, and you should be deciding, do I want to add more risk? But I can build in this type of exposure system, but it's in this product already, in the trade portfolio dash, so you can look at it, and it doesn't take long. You know, with the US, for example, you come over here and you quickly flick through Aussie dollar, US dollar. I'm basically, what I'm sort of saying here is I'm quite exposed on the US dollar long at the moment. So I come over to my account and I go, right, Aussie dollar, US dollar, I've got no trades on that. I don't want to take any more exposure on the Aussie dollar, US dollar. So I come in here and I tick that off. It won't trade it. And Euro US dollar. Haven't got any trades on that. I don't want to take any more US dollar exposure at the moment. How long's that taken me? 5 seconds. Done. That's it. I'm not taking any more US exposure. You should be looking at every chart every day to see what's going on with the market. So that is what I would recommend doing, because you're not going to find an EA that is going to know exactly what to do for you, because they're not that clever. I can make them as clever as you like, but they're not as clever as me or you. Why do 30-minute candles matter on indices? I don't know. Oh, 30-minute candles and indices. So the ooh, beautiful. Look at this. It's going to be a big day today. So 30 minutes is what they call the initial balance. So in the futures market, the first 30 minutes of trading is what they class as the initial balance. So if you look at a haven't got one. What the hell am I trying to find? It's not a volume profile. My brain's gone. I'm just going to write it over time, and it's going to know what I mean. What am I trying to find, people? Not a volume profile. I'm trying to find the other type of chart. Someone's got to know what my brain is thinking. Just get rid of that. Suspected spam. It's my broker. There it is. TPO. Went completely out of my brain. TPO, right? Time price opportunity chart. Okay, so this is a TPO chart. Can you not make that bigger? Okay. All right, so this is a TPO chart. TPO charts basically plot every 30 minutes. So in futures markets, which is what banks and institutions are using, they use a TPO chart, and the TPO chart basically draws in the price action volume over 30 minutes of time. So this very first part of the volume profile, basically, or the TPO profile, is your initial balance. It's what's called the IB. Yeah. And the IB basically is the initial balance of orders and the trading range so far within the market. Okay. So what you do after the initial balance is formed, what most traders do is they will mark in, which is usually done by indicators automatically, what we call the value area high and the value area low. Okay. And these basically are the extremes of that first initial balance. What you will find is there's 3 different types. Well, there's actually 4, but there's 3 main types of day in markets. The vast majority of days are balanced days. Okay, and those days basically are where we have what's called rotation. So what you do is you get your initial balance of orders in, the initial flurry in the first 30 minutes of what happens, and then all price action tends to work out, and these are perfect examples. Yeah, this has even got VAH and VAL written on it. Look, so exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway, that's basically what normally happens in most days. So you either get what's called a P-shaped day, where you will have a big initial balance and a lot of trading up at this end, which looks like a P. You'll have a B-shaped day, where you get a lot of initial balance and then the market finds its balance down here, making a B. Or you get what's called a double distribution day, where you get the initial balance come in, a lot of trading up here and a lot of trading down there with not a lot in the middle, which is a double distribution. Yeah. So that is why the first 30 minutes is important, because a lot of futures traders are using this to find where they're going to execute orders for the day. And it will typically be in value area high and value area low. So if you break out of the initial balance, you are going to have a trend day. If you're going to have a trend day, you are going to form a P or a B shaped formation for that day. So a breakout of the first 30 minutes on a trend day is a virtual given that you will end up in profit. Because if we're going to create a P-shaped formation for the day or a B-shaped formation for the day, and you take the first initial balance break, you will never go into drawdown. Yeah. So the 30-minute ORB or initial balance break is an important one, but it only works on trend days. If you go into a rotation day or a double distribution day, it fails. So it's a strategy that will work sometimes and other times it won't. When it does work, happy days, we make a lot of money, because on those trend days you can have 150, 200 ADR moves. On days where you don't, you just don't make money. But it's the same as anything, isn't it? Your job is not to know where price is going. Unless you've got a time machine, you're not going to know that. What your job is to do is to find something to trade and wrap risk around the idea. Your risk is there. And if it is a double distribution, a P-shaped day today, and you've taken a breakout long, that's never going to get touched. You're gone. That's it. You're going to close up here somewhere and happy days. So that's why it's important. So with the ORBV2, what this does is, that's about to hit TP. What this does is it tries to take a trade on the 5-minute range. If there is a range parameter that it's found it likes based on volume and movement and size and lots of other things, but if it finds a trade it likes, it will try to access that trade. If it doesn't find what it wants in the first 5 minutes, it will then identify the 10-minute range and see if the conditions are right for a 10-minute break. If that's not right, it will look at the 15-minute break. If that's not right, it will wait until the initial balance is in, and then it will go for a P-shape or a B-shape break for the day. If one of those has not already happened, if one of those has already happened, and like that, we've hit target, you're not going to take that because you're already in it. Yeah. So it's the 30-minute initial balance is the backup trade for the original ORB if the ORB doesn't work. The ORB is the backup trade for the pre-market break if the pre-market break doesn't work. So it's just about finding the momentum for the day. When you get a rotation day that starts rotational and ends rotational, you get a huge loss. Nothing you can do about it, because you don't know it's going to be a rotation day until it's a rotation day. By the time it's a rotation day, you're dead. And this is why everybody blows their account, because they don't understand in prop that the odds are stacked against you. You will have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, 5 of those maybe a month. Every time you do, kiss goodbye to your evaluation, kiss goodbye to your funded account, because what you will be doing is getting chopped to death. So this variation of the EA also stops on those days and goes no more. But when we get a double distribution day that plays out to target beautifully, we make a fortune. Or if we get a P-shaped distribution day, like today is looking like, we're going to make a fortune. All the other days, mediocre. But you know, this is what trading's about. It's not about finding the holy grail. It's about understanding risk and understanding what the market can do. There is only 3 things the market really does, isn't there? On indices, yeah, it's either doing that, it's breaking out, or it's dumping. Yeah, so you just create a strategy that takes advantage of that situation. If that happens, you're dead. However, if you make your strategy take advantage of that situation, you'll kill it on those types of days. But when it's trending or breaking out, which it does more often than not, you're going to die, which is why people do not mean revert indices. Well, you do, but you're better off not being a mean reversion trader in indices. You're better being a momentum breakout trader. In Forex, you're better doing the opposite, because this thing spends 80% of its time going sideways. So you don't want to be a trend trader. People that try to trade FX very rarely ever make money, because you're only benefiting 20 to 30% of the time. The rest of the time, you're getting killed, or you're not taking trades. there you go. That's why the 30-minute candles matter on indices. The meta marketplace is playing up. I left you a message. It's not taking my order for the MT4 version of the dashboard, but it did take my order for the MT5 yesterday. Yeah, I did reply to you on that. Someone else has bought something this afternoon, so it is working, but it's not taking your card for some reason. So it maybe you want to check with your bank and just make sure that it's not the bank saying we don't like them anymore because you bought from it yesterday. Might be something to do with your bank. I am on the verge of getting my own licensing system set up. I've been testing it all morning, and it's working. So I've now got a licensed version of my EAs, not indicators, only EAs, and on my own validation server set up. So I've got to do a little bit more testing on it, but I will be taking payment direct for anything that anybody wants, because I know there is problems with the marketplace, and it's not necessarily you, it's the marketplace or the banks. I don't know who it is, but whatever it is a hurdle. So, and also I have problems validating stuff, which is a pain in the backside as well. So, but hopefully it'll be back up. I mean, try again. That's all I can say, because somebody else has made a purchase today, so there's nothing. Well, say nothing wrong with it. It is working for some people. Tom Hugard uses break second 15 min. Is something similar. He calls it the school run. Yeah, school run strategy. Yeah, I know all about school run. Yeah. Oh, basically, you know, Tom's a great trader. I don't take anything away from Tom, but Tom has just recycled Tony Krabel's work as if anybody ever mentions the opening range breakout strategy to you, they are mentioning Tony Krabel's work from 20 odd years ago. Yeah, I have not invented the opening range breakout strategy. This is not mine. This is a momentum breakout strategy. But Tony Krabel got the idea for the ORB strategy from someone else who had a Bollinger Band contraction breakout strategy they used in commodities. Yeah. And that guy probably got it from someone else. Yeah. Nothing in trading is unique, right? Price goes up, price goes down, and it moves through time. That's what it's always done. That's what it will always do. As long as there is a thing called a market where there is a buyer and a seller and they disagree on price, it will tick up and down. How you take advantage of that is not going to be unique, because you can only press one of two buttons. The reason you press one of two buttons is going to come from someone else. So, yeah, everybody's going to be trading very similar strategies. There are only three strategies: breakout, trend, and mean reversion. Price only goes up and down. You apply one of three strategies to an up and down movement, you have a trading system. Whether you use the 5-minute, the 10-minute, the second 15, the first 15, the 30, the pre-market, the aftermarket, the hourly, doesn't matter, does it? At the end of the day, when the button is pressed that way, it's either going to go like that or it's going to go like that. When you apply risk to that, it becomes a strategy. That's all it is, isn't it? Trading. It's very simple. But yeah, I mean, the second 15-minute would be today. That's your 15-minute there. So your second 15 would be there. So he would have broken out there. So that would be the second 15-minute is that, and that. The first 15 is that, and that. So the second 15-minute breakout he'd have taken there. Unfortunately, he's missed all of that. But happy days, he's in that. So I'm just going to close that manually because I'm not going to watch this disappear. There's a 3-bar reversal going in on the Dow. We've closed the S&P. We've closed the Dow. So the Nasdaq, I'll let you know. This needs to be break even, doesn't it? Really? This will go and hit target now, but I'm not going to risk it. Sorry, but you are way too smart. Thank you, Tom. Um, I'm not smart. I just retain information. I bought the Posier last night. Worked straight away and first try. Cool. Yeah. Will the license server require a connection anytime the EA is used? Yep. If so, that can become a costlier disadvantage when the server is down? Nope, not the way I do it. When's the server going down, FTNet? How many servers do you know realistically that go down these days? Yeah, I've had websites that have been up for over a decade and they're still up. Yeah, servers, I wouldn't worry about it. I'd be more worried about your internet connection than the server connection. The data centers do not have connection issues like that. But the way my licensing works, my licensing system works, is when it initializes the EA, it checks for your license. So it contacts my server and says, have you got a license? If it can't contact the server for any reason, it will go, sorry, I can't start. You'll contact me and I'll go, oh, the server's crashed, and I'll restart it. Then you will access the server, your license will kick in, and then what it will do is it will check every 8 hours to make sure that you've got a license. Yeah. So the only time it will disconnect your EA from your terminal is if for any reason the server goes down for an entire 24 hours. Yeah, which if that's the case, yeah, you're going to have problems. Your EA is going to shut off. So's mine, though. I'm going to know about it because I'm using it. And all of mine, everything I do is going to be on licensed products of my own as well. So I will know before you do if it goes down because I'm never not in front of this thing. So the only time it could be a problem is if I'm on holiday. But at the end of the day, I've got a phone. And the server room's got a phone, and I phone them up and go, oi, your server's down. And they go, you're right. Let me hit the restart button, sir. Oh, it's come back up again. So don't worry about it. It's not a constant connection. If I was for most of the products that I have, most of the EAs that I have, they're running on a VPS, and you never touch them. Therefore, if it has to, the only time it's ever going to check a license is when it initializes the EA for the first time. Then it won't ever check again. But there are some, like the position trader EA, where you are able to flick around and change charts. And in this case, what happens every time you change chart is the EA reinitializes, which means it then does another license check. So that's why I've got it checking every 8 hours rather than every time it initializes. Yeah. So it's a bit more of a clever licensing system than just constantly saying, are you connected? Because otherwise that's obviously going to crash at some point, which they do. But, you know, there's not a lot of other ways around it, unfortunately. It's like knowledgeable goes from dad to his son for generations. Yeah, exactly. This is it. It's, you know, I'm under no illusion that what I do is not unique. Yeah, nothing I do is unique because it's very hard to find something unique in this. Because, like I say, it does that or that, right? So there's only so many things. It's like I always say this when I do a lot of spin classes, right? And people say to me, oh, does that not get boring and monotonous? It's like, well, yeah, you can either do a standing climb or a seated climb, or you can do a seated sprint or a standing sprint. Apart from that, is there anything else you can do on a bike? No. Price goes up and goes down. Doesn't do much else. So we're probably, if we all taught a spin class, we'd be teaching the standing and seated variation. If we all do trading, we're going to be using the buying and the selling variation. And if we do trading, we're either going to be range traders, breakout traders, or trend traders, because it doesn't do anything else. So by definition, when somebody goes and sets up a YouTube channel, a trading course or something, they're teaching something that someone else has already taught. Because you can't reinvent the wheel. It's a market. Sellers, buyers. That's it. So, you know, opening range breakout strategy is not mine. It's Tony Krabel's, and Tony Krabel got it from someone else, and he got it from someone else, from a Chinese guy that invented the candlestick. Everything is born. That's the way it works, isn't it? This thing is called a wide range bar. It was invented by Mr. M.A. Perry back in the 1970s. Some guru who wears a cap, who is a very famous YouTuber, reinvented it and called it the fair value gap. Where do you think he got that from? No, he didn't invent it. It was M.A. Perry who invented it. But did M.A. Perry invent a propulsion candlestick? No. So what M.A. Perry did was, every time he saw a propulsion candlestick, which is what his mentor taught him was a large bank order, he decided to draw a block on it and call it a wide range bar. Someone in China invented the candlestick, which is a measurement of price over time. So everything everybody teaches or does is based on something that was invented hundreds of years ago in the Orient. Pass it on. We'll be passing it on forever. I hope you'll still maintain the marketplace as a selling channel. Yeah, I will, but I'm not going to promote it because it doesn't work, does it? A lot of people just can't do it, can't use it for some reason. Will we have to prove purchases? Well, you'll be making them through me, so you won't have to prove anything. You'll be getting more queries even when on holiday. Yes, I'll just ignore them. Yeah, so everything's still going to be on the marketplace, obviously, because that's where it is at the moment. It's not. I'm not going to stop putting things on the marketplace. But, you know, like I said, I've had problems uploading things to the marketplace. I tried to release version 2 of the Position Trader EA. It wouldn't let me because there was a glitch. I can't have it where the thing just breaks all the time. So it makes sense to do it myself. Prior EAs you purchase, well, you just carry on using those for the marketplace, Sarah. You won't. If you want anything new, I will sell direct. If you want it, you can have it from me direct. Anything existing is on the marketplace, but any new sales will go direct through me, and I will just maintain both. And eventually, everybody will just move over to me at some point, hopefully. The EAs already purchased for MT5 shouldn't encounter any issues. No. Well, I don't know. I'm not MT5. Right. Sorry, we've got a load of alerts going off, and I'm just waffling at the minute. So let's go and look at the zones for the day. There you go. Stopped out on that that one, so it's not a bad day, is it? So stopped out there. So with just going back to quickly the 30-minute range. So at the moment, you can see the short orders pending at the moment here for all of these indices, right? So far today, what we're looking at, let's take the let's just take the S&P as an example. So there's your pre-market Globex trading session. This is your open. That is your initial balance there. So today, what we're going to see is either a double distribution day where we have the initial balance, we then push up and we trade up here for a while, and then we can't hold price here and we fly back down through here and we try to trade down here. That would be a double distribution day where you get a P shape and a B shape with a void in the middle, which is the initial balance. So the reason this trade here is left intact is if this is a price discovery move to the upside which fails, the market cannot sustain that. It will then see if we can trade the other side of the initial balance and either break out to a trend or hold price down here. So we've just taken that trade and made a nice profit. Now, if that isn't going to be what we're going to do today, we'll take a trade short and we'll try and make some more. The downside to doing that is if this is going to be your low of the day and this is going to turn into kind of a P shape, or we're going to turn into a kind of balanced distribution day, you're going to trigger that trade and you're going to stop out on it and you're going to take a little bit more loss. But unless you've got a time machine, you can't tell me what's going to happen. So we just leave everything intact because we know what's going to happen. There is only 4 types a day. So we are basically preempting, basically with the opening range breakout, you're preempting what type of day it's going to be today. You are hoping always it's going to be a P-shaped or a B-shaped distribution day on a trend, because those days you cannot really fail to make money. In real world, that doesn't happen every day, does it? Will there be a lifetime license price? Everything's a lifetime license. Oh, when I retire? Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't worry about it, Harold. I don't know. Everything on the marketplace is get 10 licenses, right? That's 10 PCs with Windows on it. If you have used more than 10 PCs with Windows on it to trade, go and buy another license. But I don't know anybody that has yet. I've been selling stuff on the marketplace for about 3 years. No one's used 10 licenses. I've had 2 Windows computers and 3 VPSs in 4 years. Yeah. And I trade full time. You don't need more than 10 licenses. It's a lifetime. How many Windows computers are you going to get through in your life, right? The average computer lasts, what, 4 years? Yeah. So if you bought 10 computers in your lifetime, that's 40 years of your life gone. So if you spend like $69 every 40 years on an indicator or an EA, it's not the end of the world, is it? Really? Don't worry about it. Not a problem. Right. Just going to go through the zones. We've got some good RSI extension trades on. I've just put a note up here. I've overexposed myself on the Swiss franc on this account. I don't want too much exposure on the Swiss at the moment. I'm only going to be trading the US dollar Swiss. So I've accidentally, I set it up on everything yesterday. So I'm going to take the Aussie Swiss and New Zealand Swiss trades off. Unfortunately, they've both gone into drawdown because they both will move the same. So I've just put a note to take those off. But those are your RSI extension trades, H1, M15 I'm using at the moment, M5, M15, whichever. You're probably in virtually the same trades with the position trader EA. So zones at the moment, I'm going to whiz through all of these and we'll have a look at where price is going. I've already closed out US dollar CAD today. So closed out US dollar CAD here. That was 3 trades. So I've been in that one for a month. That's 0.66%. Pound odd, I closed out yesterday for 0.34. And prior to that, not a lot really. So yeah, up 8% on the month at the minute. So we'll go through all the accounts, basically all the pairs, and we'll have a look at where everything is. So Aussie dollar Swiss, I'm targeting propulsion gap to the upside. I've got 2 longs on this at the moment. I was taking one out of these lows here, but it pushed back down. Second entry was taken here, which is basically in the middle of this accumulation. So I was looking basically for this kind of lowish area here to hold it. It didn't. So we've now broken through, but we are pushing back up again. So this here is part of the Trump Canadian tariff announcement. So I've put the zone, the next entry zone, all the way down there. I don't think I'll get in down there. I mean, if it gets all the way down there without pulling back, there's something quite dramatically wrong, isn't there? But if it does, that's absolutely fine. I don't care. But I don't want to scale in too fast on this Swiss franc. So it's pushing, look at that, it's pushing right back up. 3-bar reversal. Beautiful. So all this weakness in that Swiss franc coming in now. Yeah, I've got 2 on that long. Aussie, New Zealand, I've got one short at the moment. I'm looking for a push back down into this area here. Second entry is going to be in these two propulsion gaps up at the highs. So just looking for some retest of that area, basically, to take profit. This is an Australian dollar move, look. Strength coming in on the Aussie by the looks of things, not the Swiss franc. Yes, Aussie dollar strength. Not quite sure why. Oh, crude has just come out. There we go. So it's crude oil. Just come out. Yeah, not surprised. So yeah, massive fear at the moment. Swiss franc strong, yen strong, gold strong. So market's panicking at the minute with everything, basically. Yeah, shorts on that one at the moment. Got two shorts on. We're just coming out of this area here at the minute. So if that's going to hold, we are just going to come back up and test the top of this range. Have I got New Zealand dollar, US dollar on as well? Let me just quickly check. Yeah, I've got that short as well. Okay, I'm going to close. I'm going to close this Aussie US completely just to get it in the bank. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. I'm just going to close this one out here in profit. So I've got 3 trades on this. This one's sitting at the moment in a fairly decent profit. We've got 0.36 on that. These two are pretty close together, so it's not far away from break even on those two. So I'm just going to bank that one as well. That just gets some money in the bank. So Aussie US out. It does look like that's a very, very, very strong reaction at that point. I mean, it may just pull back and obviously collapse straight back down again, but I've got exposure on Aussie and New Zealand in the same direction, so it just makes sense to get one of those off. I can trade this in both directions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the next buy down at these lows. So this propulsion gap to the downside here. That is what we have. So this is your Trump cock up. And then the market basically found balance here. So that was the propulsion move. And then they rebought that, rebought it. So if we get back to there, they're going to rebuy that level. So I'm just going to leave that in place. In fact, I'm just going to move it up slightly just so it takes this most recent wick into account. Yeah, so I'll buy it back there. If we do manage to push all the way up, if for any reason that US dollar collapses or we get massive strength on the Aussie, then I'll resell those highs. CAD Swiss. So got 3 longs on that one at the moment. I've just readjusted already this morning the next buy into that propulsion gap. Yep, so basically I've just retested those lows, which is the Trump move. This is absolutely parabolic to the downside, so we're going to get a lovely pullback on this when it starts. So I do want another trade on down here, ideally, because I've got quite a long way to go to get back. But the propulsion gaps on this are many. So that's your 50% retracement, which gets me back into profit. I'm not moving my TP at the moment because we're range bound. So these lows down here are holding. These highs up here were holding. So until the market proves otherwise, we're range bound. So that's what I'm going to stay with, the assumption that we're range bound until we break out of this range. So I'm just basically going to wait for it to get back up. Euro odd. New short has just gone in today. We've got a 3-bar reversal going in at the moment as well. So new short. We're selling propulsion. So if that breaks, That's too close. I'm just going to go with that propulsion gap for the minute. So see if we can come and retest this propulsion gap, and then back up. We'll be up at those highs if needed. But that's going to have, that's going to be a hell of a move. We're basically reselling this previous high. So that's next sell. Euro buy on that. I'm just going to move my exit up just in case we don't manage to get very far. This one, I'll be watching these highs here. Look, this propulsion gap. So we hit that level, resold it, and we smashed through that level. We haven't come and retested that yet. So potentially if this high holds, that is potentially what we could see. So I will watch that area when we get there, but we're not there yet. Afternoon, Wyatt. Wanted to use the SIHEA, but using the aggressive hedge exit in the tester can cause huge losses. Yep. How would you deal with this in a live scenario? Re-hedge it. So yeah, I mean, basically the SIHEA, if you're going to use aggressive exits, you need to be watching it. You can't leave it completely unattended. On a 200 ADR move, if you get one, you're going to get hurt. So you have got to re-hedge. It's not a fully automated system. Nothing I do is fully automated. Automation is there to do exactly what it says, automate, but it's not there to trade for you. Yeah, you can't have something just trade for you because nothing is intelligent enough to do everything. Because there's too many scenarios that could possibly play out, and you will have a different thing that you want to do based on how your day is going. Yeah. So as an example, I manually closed out that one today when I saw some rejection going in. The EA didn't do that. I did. But the EA would have pushed up and hit the target. So I would have made a little bit extra on it. I moved the stop loss on that position up to break even because I needed to make a decision. So it stopped me out at break even. What's actually happened is the EA would still be in it long making money. But I made the decision to close that out. Yeah. Whether it's the right or wrong decision is based on many factors. One of them being how profitable it is and what the rest of this week's been like and how much it's 95%. Look, how well everything's going. So you've got to have that intervention at some points, and there aren't going to be many times where it's going to do that aggressive hedge exit and get a huge 200 ADR move on. But what I would say is if you want to protect yourself against that, just go and get an equity protector EA that basically automatically closes out trades when you get to a certain amount of loss on your account. So you could have a backup loss amount. In fact, has SIH not got that? Did I not? Maybe it hasn't. I don't think it has actually, has it? Opening range breakout EA has got that. So I could build that into the SIH. Yeah, no, I haven't got it in the SIH. So, yeah, you could use an equity protector. There's plenty of free EAs out there which you can just slap on an account and say, if it gets to, in fact, I could build one, but if it gets to $2,000 in loss or $1,000 in loss or something, just shut all trades. So if you can't watch it, that would be kind of your backup. But I could put into place all sorts of rules to deal with things. So if you've got things that you think I would like it to do, yeah, I can probably do them. But there's a million different ways to do everything. So it's just I can't put everything in. So Mumo learnt that aggressive recovery the hard way. Yeah, I have as well. I've taken some big losses on the SIH And after you've taken a loss like that, you learn. It's tempting. This, it's the whole, it's the pain point, isn't it? Taking a loss is painful. We try to stop ourselves from taking losses because it hurts, and that's totally understandable. But you have to take losses. Same with the with position trading. Yeah, you can't just let it go forever and hope it'll come back, because 99% of the time it will, but the 1% it doesn't will kill you. Yeah, you can juggle knives for years. One time you're going to catch that knife the wrong way round, but you won't do that again. You'll be wearing steel gloves next time you juggle. Yeah, it's part of the learning process, but there are things we can put in place to stop it happening. But for me, it's watching, if you can't trade the open, yeah, don't trade the open. If you can't watch the open, you shouldn't really be trading the open, because the open is fast and aggressive. And the times that you will normally get that, Wyatt, you'll find will be on news events. So if you take the opening range breakout, and you get hedged, and then you get non-farm payroll, right? And non-farm payroll sends it skyrocketing to 200 ADR, but on the way there it puts in a nice little drop like that, gets you into your aggressive exit, and then does another 100 ADR. Those are the days you get killed. You can easily deal with that by not trading non-farm payroll days, or if you get an aggressive hedge exit on a non-farm payroll day, place that pending order the opposite direction for 100% of your lot size and walk away. If it gets hit, do not be tempted to try and do anything complicated with it. Just take the hit for the day. But the hit won't be as big as if you don't place that hedge opposite there. I have built into the SAH that exact logic. I don't know if I've got the EA version, but it was kind of EA. It was SIH V2, if you like, and it had an automatic re-hedge facility in it, where once you took that aggressive drawdown control position, it would immediately place an automatic re-hedge for your entire lot size short, for example, in this case, in the other direction. But the problem is, when I was testing it, what it would do is it would trigger that, and then it would come down, and you would just be sitting in double the loss where you actually would have recovered. So I had an input to say how far away we should put that hedge recovery. And you know what? Every single one of them worked sometimes, and other times it didn't. So, but I can build that in. It's an option. So that it's got that. But what will also happen is your backtesting results will be completely different. So, it's a difficult decision to make. That one too, lost 2 over leveraged accounts position trading, waiting and hoping for a squeeze to just turn. Yep. Trading, the most important money you will ever spend in trading is never on a course, right? I blew I think my first account was 1,000, my second account was 2,000, my third account was 5,000 when I started trading 15, 18 years ago, whenever it was. And that first $1,000 account taught me a lesson. I ain't got a bloody clue what I'm doing. The second $2,000 account taught me a lesson. I really don't know what I'm doing. The $5,000 account taught me risk management, because I was like, Jesus, I just paid £7,000 on top of the however many thousand I'd paid to 3 or 4 different people selling courses by that point. So I was 10k down, and I didn't have a clue what I was doing, and I was 2 years in. That's when I gave up. Yeah, I stopped trading for a good 18 months, I think, year maybe. I was still looking at it, but stopped. And then I came back to it, and then I went demo only. And then I got to break even on demo. And then I started back with a small account. But the biggest, most valuable lessons are the blown accounts, because they actually teach you what the market does. And it doesn't matter what you think the market is going to do next, it will do what it wants. And if it wants to push 5 ADR a day for 3 days running, it will do it. And there's nothing you can do about it. If Liz Truss wants to crash the pound and destroy your account, she will do it. And you will have no way of knowing it's happening. So it teaches you risk management. It's one of the best lessons. You're better off basically never doing a trading course, trying to scrabble together as much information you can on YouTube and on the internet and using real money to trade with, because you will be damn sure that you do it right. And if you do it wrong, you won't do it again. I've said this before. I used to have, I put a message in, a picture in Discord. I used to have on my old monitor, and one of my mentors gave me this as a learning tool, basically. I used to have on my monitor post-it notes all the way around my monitor. And there's stuff on, you'll find it on here. I used to have this, not that sort of thing. Yeah, literally, that is almost exactly what my monitor used to look like. And on each of these, basically, every time I took a bad trade and he told me why it was a bad trade, he told me to write it down and stick it on my monitor. Within months, I had a monitor completely filled with these things. And every time I sat down while I was watching the charts go up and down, and then I'd stop watching the charts go up and down because it's gone up and down and I can't do anything about it, I would just glance at all of this stuff. And it stopped me making all of those mistakes. Never made them again, because I'd written down what a stupid thing that was to do. So I'm not going to do that again. And every time I was going to press a button, I was constantly reminded by everything that doesn't work. What you're left with is what does work. And it said, but blowing accounts and learning the hard way, those are the lessons that stick with you the longest. Euro CAD's popping, Canadian dollar's dropping by the looks of things. Euro CAD weekly range hit on the Euro CAD. Got a lot of movement going on at the moment. Pounds off again. Oh, look at that pound. Oh, that's Canadian dollar dropping. Well, no, it's not. It's the pound. There was just a lot going on. A lot of movement. Let's have a look at the CAD. Yeah, big weakness in the Canadian dollar. Shit. I've just got out of US dollar CAD and that thing's... Oh, no, that's not actually gone as much as I thought it would. Big weak move in the CAD. Something's just happened which we don't know about yet. It hasn't hit financial juice. I'd imagine something's just been announced on Canadian tariffs or something somewhere. There's a lot of movement everywhere. So that we've just had a big spike going before the hour. It's not index related, so. Pound New Zealand. Pound's really off. New Zealand dollar. All the Aussies at the minute really struggling. Right, let me carry on when they do these. So Euro CAD. So next entry is obviously going to be up here. So we'll watch this area here. We may get a reaction off of that, but more likely we're going to kind of retest those highs. That'll be fourth short going in. Euro Swiss have longs on at the moment. Got 3 positions on. Exit in that propulsion gap. Next entry long is down at those lows. Euro pound sells almost at target. Just going to close that out. So out the euro pound shorts, just in case that is, lows are not exact. It could be any level down here, could be that. If it's that, I do not want it going all the way back up here. I want it in my bank. So next sell on that is going to go back in at the highs. So just going to resell that area there. If we get there, assume we're going to form a small range at the bottom. Euro, New Zealand, new short in, third short on, next short is easy. Those highs. So just going to resell up at here somewhere. Obviously, we're still range bound, so just waiting for that to come back down again. Downside target, I'm just going to move back up onto this area here. So looking to get out if they retest 50% of that move and that propulsion gap holds. So if we're looking to do that, I want to get out here. If we are not going to make it to that high and it comes back down into the lows, I'll be out somewhere around here. If it hits that, average is going to move up and that'll be a nice little profit. So one of those is going to happen. Euro US. This is going absolutely nowhere at the moment. So basically next entry is still up at these highs. We're just stuck. I've been stuck in this for, well, since back there, but we're just not going anywhere at the minute. So waiting for either the euro to collapse or Trump to actually rally the US. Pound odd, trying to get into longs on this. So the last long I got taken off was there. Trying to get back in on a retest of this area here. And we've just shot off today. So hopefully we get a rejection up at these highs and it comes back down. So if it comes back down, I'm going to rebuy that propulsion gap. Yeah, so this area here is basically what we smashed through, this high here, and then we retested, and then we pushed away, added back in. So this is where the buyers currently are. So if we can get back down to there from a bounce off of this high, I will get in long. Same with pound CAD, haven't managed to get into it. Yeah, I'll just rebuy that there. So if we can come and retest this propulsion move, which is a break of that high, but I mean, this Canadian dollar's getting crucified. So pound Swiss, longs on at the moment, looking for an exit up in propulsion. Next long down there, that one's in break even at the minute. Pound, I've only got two on that. Pound US dollar short. So next short is going to be at the most recent highs. And then obviously we've got this area here. So if we do tap into that today, which looks like it might happen, that will be the next short on. So that'll be 5 on that. So I need to start doing some drawdown control on this at some point. But obviously average will push up and then target I will move up onto this area here. But I'm going to leave it where it is at the moment because that's the most recent propulsion gap to the downside. New Zealand dollar CAD, looking for longs. So I readjusted this level this morning. But they've rebought that propulsion. So I don't think I'm going to get it on. But I'm leaving it there. If we do come down into that area, I'll buy it there. New Zealand dollar Swiss. This has changed quite a bit, hasn't it? So this is the Trump Canadian dollar tariff announcement. We've got this little bit of area here, which we've retested and bounced out of. It was too close for me to get. Now I can actually get that on just about. So I might just, because this area here, I think will probably hold. So I'm going to just put the zone now. There. And take another trade. So I'm just going to get another entry on. If this candle closes up here somewhere, it won't take the trade because it'll be too close. If it closes below that level, I will grab another one. So if this is going to push really fast and hard out of here, I'll leave it as it is. If we're going to muck about down here for a bit, I will get another one on and then another down there. Exit target to the upside, assuming I get that trade on here. Average will come down, which means that that propulsion gap will become my target rather than the highs. So I just move my target down as my average comes down. New Zealand, US, taken one off of this already. So going to re-add back up there again. So that one came off because it was a nice profit. Still got 2 on. We're back at break even on it. I am going to leave it on. I'm assuming, rightly or wrongly, I'm assuming that at some point Trump is going to make America great again and he is going to boost the US dollar. But he's not really doing it at the minute, is he? So I'm going to leave my target where it is, down here. Yeah, so if we come and retest this level, I will get out of these remaining 2 shorts. And obviously that one's a profit anyway. And then I will flip long. So I'm looking for somewhere I can flip long on this as well. So I don't want to just take it off for the sake of taking it off. It looks to me like at the moment we might be bouncing out of this area here. However, if that is the case, fine. I'll be getting another one up there and then I'll get out again when we come back down. If this is just going to be part of the market structure to the downside, that'll be my exit and then I'll flip long. And then obviously this is the area I'll look at to scale in. And that's the Trump Canadian thing, which wasn't real. US dollar CAD exited longs. So I'm looking for new long entries on this. I'm just going to rebuy the lows. I'm not getting aggressive with the US dollar CAD at the moment. It's literally going sideways. So I'm going to buy lows. I'm not going to try. Ordinarily on this, I would probably look at either rebuying that or rebuying that. So if US is going to rally, that is where I would look to buy. I'm not convinced it's going to, so I'm going to wait and see if we can get back down to those lows. It will take a week to do that. It might be down here by the end of this week. So there is an opportunity for a long there. But I'm not convinced about this at the minute, so I'm just going to stay conservative on it. US dollar Swiss, longs on. Next long entry is here. So we hit that resistance, which is the previous resistance, and then we hit it again, and then we managed to accumulate and break it, and then retest and bought it. It's only been tested once, so when it hits that level, we're probably going to find buyers. Average will come down. I will move this down into that propulsion gap because I've got 4 on already. And the pound yen is in profit. This I'm just holding for the moment. It's a yen. It's a carry trade. I'm assuming at some point the yen is going to start to weaken. So I will just see where this is. This is the type of trade. It's a single. It's just sitting there. If by Friday I see this and it's sitting in something like 0.4 profit, I will just take it off for the weekend. I'm not that interested in trading the yen at the minute. However, I am being paid to sit in it, so I will sit in it. Apart from that, that's it. There we go. So 10% drawdown on at the minute now. And that pound US dollar is the main issue for the moment. But nothing much. I've got, these aren't actually even in a percent drawdown. They're just about a percent drawdown at the moment. So I'm not that bothered. When we start getting up to 4 or 5 trades and we start getting to 4 or 5% drawdown, it's time to start cutting some of these using the profit, but not yet. Right, there we go. Tra-la-la. 18 years ago, people were selling courses. They were. I thought this appeared after YouTube became popular. What? Trading? No. Retail trading's been, I've been in retail trading, not since it began, but not long after. The very first proper, I would say proper course I did was Bulls on Wall Street, Canal d'Orsay, and they're still going today. And that was 17 years ago. So, yeah. But that was before YouTube was popular, really, yeah. YouTube was about, wasn't it? I don't know, when was YouTube formed? When was YouTube formed? 2005. There you go. So 20 years ago. So YouTube was about, but I didn't find stuff on YouTube back then. Wasn't that popular? A few talking heads, I think, shaking the market up at the minute. Pound really strong today. Not quite sure why, but we're almost 150 ADR on pound CAD. That's coming up to monthly resistance. So very, very good short opportunity on that. Look at the size of this move with no pullback. Hourly RSI extension. Look at the size of that move without a pullback. The size of that move without a pullback. The size of that move without a pullback. Look at that. A head and shoulders that worked. Would you have thunk it? Don't see those around very often. Not ones that work anyway. Somebody somewhere on some social media channel took that short and has sold a load of courses because he took that short. He went, I trade a head and shoulders pattern. Look at this trade I took. And everyone will be going, oh, wow. But he won't show you the 55 failed head and shoulders patterns he took before that one that didn't work at all. Head and shoulders, love them. Afternoon outro. Just managed to catch the Ned of the stream after work. Congratulations on catching the Ned. Sorry, sarcastic mode this afternoon. Catching the end, I know what you mean. Hope everyone is good and well. Yes, all good. Right, I'll leave it there. Not a lot else to discuss really today. So there you go. I completely ballsed that one up. That was my entry. I moved my stop to break even. I got stopped out at break even, and now it's hit target. That would have said 4,000 if I hadn't have done that. Ta-da! Never mind. Is what it is. Not a lot you can do about that. Right, anybody got any questions on anything or anything else to discuss before I disappear? Back tomorrow for member stream. I still don't know what we're doing tomorrow yet. I'm really unorganized with these member streams at the moment. We are covering good stuff in them. I'm just not very organized with them. So I will think of something to do tomorrow. Actually, what I might do is go over these results because I want to do some more development work on this, but I haven't had time. I've had so much more happening at the minute. But you know, this account's up 95% now in the last, what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Since I've been testing it. This is obviously a development account and forward test. So it's doing very well. And I kind of like to check those results that we've got in here and compare them against the back testing. So it'd be a good little test to back test from the 29th of January and just verify the back test of these results. Although I have interfered a couple of times with them as well, and I've missed a few days as well. So maybe it's not actually an amazing exercise to do, but I don't know. I'll have a think about that one. Loving the dashboard. Yeah. I'm loving the dashboard. It's amazing. It's just the most amazing thing I've ever built. And it doesn't even take any trades. I think it's my best thing, but it doesn't actually make you money. Well, it does make you money, but it doesn't take trades. But it's as far as what we do is concerned, the most important thing is knowing where to act and when to act. This is the heat map is just, I can instantly see I've got a problem with the pound US dollar, and the euro CAD's getting a little bit dicey. Apart from that, I'm not bothered. It's such a nice thing, isn't it? To know that I've got the power to basically go, I'll take some of that and I'll get rid of that. And now I've got no problems. It's so good. Brilliant. And partial drawdown control. I've discovered a problem, by the way. For those of you that are following this account on CopyFX, I don't know who is. Ignore that because it's obviously takes into account drawdown, not closed profit. Is there a closed profit view of this? No. It's interesting. I guess that's probably a good way to show the P&L, isn't it? That's your P&L, that's your drawdown. So I guess. But yeah, the account's actually up 9%. Just we got drawdown on obviously at the moment. So I've discovered a problem because I set this up as a cent account, just so that I could put a small amount of money in for the copy trading service. I'm copying these as well. I've realized I can't do drawdown control because on a cent account, the minimum transaction size is a 0.1. You can't close micros. You can only close minis, and I didn't realize that. So I can't close 25% of that trade, for example, because it is a 0.1. I want to close out 0.3 of that and do some DD control, but I can't. So I'm a little bit annoyed because I didn't realize that. I didn't know you couldn't do that with cent accounts. I just assumed they work the same way as a normal account, which you could trade micros, because it allows me. The way I normally tell is when you go to one-click trading, if it goes up and down in ones, like it does here, I can go 0.06. But I try and take a 0.06 and I can't. I can only take a 0.1, and I did not know that. So I've got a slight problem in that I can't do drawdown control on the account. So I'm not sure what to do about this. I don't really want to not trade the account in the way that I would want to trade it. So what I'm considering doing is putting more money in it to bring it up to an account size where I can do drawdown control on it. So obviously everything I do is in percentage risk. So it doesn't matter if I put the equivalent of 25 grand, 50 grand or 100 grand in here. It's irrelevant, isn't it? Because your account is going to copy based on the lot sizes that I take, and my lot sizes are going to be taken as a percentage of my balance. So it doesn't matter what amount of money I have in here. So what I might do is up the balance on the account, which means that it will up the initial lot sizes taken, which means that I'll be able to do drawdown control. But I can only do drawdown control in 0.1 increments. So I'm going to need to take the account up to a minimum of 50k to make sure that I can trade halves, because I still won't be able to take off quarters, because a quarter has to be a minimum of a 0.1 lot size. And as you can see, fourth trade here is only sitting at 0.22, so I can only do a 50% drawdown on that at the moment. But I didn't realize this was a restriction. I've never actually traded a cent account properly with and tried to do drawdown control. Never used it. Never used them really. So a little bit of a problem with it. which is it's kind of tying my hands behind my back a little bit, because all I can do is take a $250 loss or a $260 loss to do drawdown control, which at the end of the day is not a massive problem. I've banked 400 a day, so I could do that and only sit on 0.5% profit for the day. But I don't want to. I want to shut half of that, and I want to shut a quarter of that out, because those are both drawdown control candidates. So I'm not sure what to do with it. I'll be purchasing on Friday. The dashboard. Cool. I can position trade manually now. Yeah. With your copy account, can we close stuff earlier or later? Yeah, you can do what you like. So with the copy account, if you're copying this account or the H1 RSI account, which is, I mean, this is literally just started trading. It's not really done anything yet. But if you're copying those and you want to close positions out, do it. It's not a problem. So, you know, like I just said, I would probably want to shut maybe half of one of those two out. But I can't. It won't let me. If I press the button, it just doesn't do anything. Because it's trying to take a 0.1 and it won't. It's trying to take a 0.5 and it just won't let me do it. So if you shut that down, when I close that trade out, yours won't do anything, obviously, because you will have already done something to it. So let's say, for example, this is order number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And you have closed out 50% of that trade. When I close 100% of that trade out, it will close, it should, as far as I know, close out the other half of yours. Yeah, because I'm closing that one in full. So it should have a link between whatever order number it allocates to the new half that you have and my original order number. At least that's how I would hope it would happen. But I'm not 100%, obviously. But that's what I would expect. But yeah, it's just frustrating. Is that the same for the user, in that we would have to have a large account to mirror your trades? No, because the way the copy trading works, disconnection. Bong. It'll come back in a minute. I hope it will anyway. Either that or my internet connection's just gone. No, it hasn't. So yeah, the way it works is basically, if I've got a 10k account, for example, and I take a 0.2% risk on my account, it will allocate my lot size for that. Yours, if yours is a 5k account, and let's say that 0.2 risk equates to a 0.08 lot trade, your account will take a 0.04 lot trade. Yeah, so it's all proportional to the account balance. So whatever risk I take on this, you take the same percentage risk on that. Yeah, but you can change that. If you wanted to take exactly the same lot size as I take, but your account is 50% of the size, you will just be doubling your risk. So if I was to go into 50%, I mean, I wouldn't go into 50% drawdown, but if I went into 50% drawdown on the account, your account would blow, obviously, if you took double the risk. So, but as standard, if you've set it up in the normal way, which is standard copying, the risk is allocated according to balance. So a 0. If I've got a 10k account, like this one's a 25k account. If you've got a 25k account and I take a 0.1, you'll take a 0.1. If I've got a 25k account and you've got a 50k account and I take a 0.1, you'll take a 0.2, and vice versa, etc. So it's all relative, basically. Right. That CopyFX account has less trades than you have on the dash. Where does it say that? Doesn't show the opening trades, does it? Doesn't show open trades. Oh, it allocates it a trade number. Okay, so every time it takes a trade, it allocates a trade number to that order. So that's how it's going to allocate know which trades have been closed and which ones haven't. RSI, it's got 3 closes on it. The same. Euro New Zealand, pound odd, pound odd. Euro New Zealand, pound odd, pound odd. Right. Shut that down. No, it's all the same. Should be. This is a bit of an experiment, this. Anyway, so I'm hoping it works, but we will see. I've not looked at any of these statistics before. It's quite interesting. To me, anyway. Doesn't really give you a lot of information, does it? 82.22% strike rate. Not bad. Best trade 1.77. Worst trade 0.63. Positive R. Average trade time 6 days and 3 hours. That's why nobody's interested, you see. They're not interested. If you can't make money in 5 minutes, don't want to know about it. I should set a copy trade up on this, shouldn't I? On the ORB V2. I'm not confident enough yet for this to go live. I'm waiting. I am confident in it, but I'm not. I just think I can make so much more of this. I think this could be a much better EA. I want to build intelligence into it. A nice short opportunity on the FTSE. We're going to stay in a rotation today. That is your rotation, value area high. Pushing outside the initial balance. Can't hold the initial balance at the moment. So likely we're going to turn into a standard deviation day, a capital D. Standard deviation, P shape, B shape, double distribution. Yeah, that is the most common day, standard distribution, which is where you see most of the volume in the middle, which means the initial balance becomes your high low of the day, or thereabouts. So to copy both accounts would be 5k on each account. I don't. It doesn't. It's do what you like. If you want to copy them, yeah, I mean, you could put whatever you want in them. It doesn't matter, does it? Because it's all relative. If you put 500 in or 50,000 in, it doesn't matter because it copies it creates the lot size proportionate to your account balance compared to the account balance of the account. So this is a cent account with at the moment 227k in it, shown as a $272 account because it's a cent account, therefore it's x'd by 100. Yeah. So the RSI account is a 40k account, which is up 2,900 at the moment, which is $400. So if you were to put 5k in here, it would basically, whatever lot size is taken on this account as a 40k account would be scaled down to your 5k account. You don't really need to worry about it. Basically, it will just make sure that it mimics the risk. That's the thing. This is what it's all about. It's about mimicking the risk. So whatever you put in, it will just go, oh, that should be traded at this percentage risk. So if I take a 0.25% risk you will take a 0.25% risk as well. That's what it does. So you don't need to worry about the size. I've just put a minimum on here because it said to me, what is the minimum? So I said, well, it's the same as this. I don't know. It's like I said, this is a bit of an experiment. I put 200 odd in, 250 in, and it said 200. I don't know. I just don't know. The trouble is, right, the only thing you've got to bear in mind is with these are both position trading accounts. When you're position trading, you need a minimum really of 3K for anything, because if you don't use 3K, you can't do drawdown control, because on a 3K account, you'll be taking a minimum of a 0.03, which means that you can close out 3 times drawdown control. You can do drawdown control 3 times on that. Yeah. If you trade a 1.5K account, most of your trades will be taken at a 0.01, meaning that if you need to do drawdown control, you can't. So basically what you're doing is grid trading, which is fine. And you will build the account up to a point where you'll be able to do proper drawdown control on it. But it's just harder to do. I started off position trading with a very, very small account, but my small account was still big enough to do drawdown control on it. And then I built it from there. So I actually put more in rather than build it because I wanted to do it faster. But it's more about having the right account size to be able to do things to it rather than focusing on the money. You've got to be able to execute the trades. And this is what I'm finding is a problem. I can't do DD control, which is a bit of an issue for me, to be honest. I do not want to take a $250 hit. I can afford to, but I don't want to because I don't think you need to at the moment. But if it comes to it, you know, it's that. There's no way I'm doing drawdown control there. Beautiful rejection. This is a false breakout and failed discovery. We're going to be back down here by the end of the week. Possibly even tomorrow. Right. It's 4:30. I'll be back tomorrow. Anything you need, let me know. I'll be in Discord. Tomorrow we're going to do the member stream tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock as usual. And then I'm back on Friday at 8 o'clock for a recap of the week. And obviously we'll have a look at the DAX and the FTSE again. If you got anything obviously you want to discuss tomorrow, members, let me know and stick it in the YouTube members group on Discord and we can have a look at it. But I haven't quite planned what I'm going to do yet tomorrow. So it will be usual stuff, obviously, and then we will look at something else. So I've got lots of stuff I've got kind of half planned, but we'll discuss what we're going to discuss tomorrow. All right, so have a good day. Anything you need, let me know. I'll be back tomorrow or Friday if you're not coming into the member streams. And then, yeah, have a good day and I'll see you next time.